Today on Alaskan Ballistics, 5.56 Nato versus 300 Blackout in Fort Scott Tumble Upon Impact Ammunition. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Alaskan Ballistics. My name is Chuck. I hope you are doing well today. Today we got a couple of Palmetto State cheapo builds, but they work. And we are going to test 5.56 versus 300 Blackout. Which one should you buy if you are hunting, short-range hunting with the Fort Scott Munitions Tumble Upon Impact? Now, they have a video on their YouTube channel, and I'll link it up above, where they kill a black bear with a 380 auto. So, obviously, this stuff should work really, really well. For the 5.56, we have an 11.5 inch PSA upper with the anechoic 45L can on it. We do have a 22 caliber cap on the end of it. The anechoic does sound really good with higher speed cartridges. And for the 300 Blackout, of course, we have a pistol lower. Pistol lowers and braces are legal at the time of this video. And I do like to mark my upper 300 Blackout. That way people know not to put the wrong magazine in it and stick 5.56 in it by mistake. We have the Vanish 30 on the 300 Blackout. Where we are shooting at, very echoey. We're like shooting in a bowl that echoes. So you do get a little bit of the actual crack of the suppressor coming back up off the mountains. On here we have the Holosun. Absolutely love that thing. Highly recommend it. And on here we have the Sealy Optics. This thing has been on since the day I got it 2 years ago. Battery's still running. This is a 62 grain. And they do make a 55 grain if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see what it gets out of the 11.5 inch barrel. This is a 190 grain and it is subsonic. So we're going to go pure mass versus a lot more speed and less than half the mass. So it'll be interesting to see which one of these does the best. Here's the difference in the ammunition, what they look like. A lot bigger bullet, a lot faster bullet. All right, here we go. Fort Scott TUI, 55 grain, 5.56, 11.5 inch barrel. Let's see how much we get here. $25.95. $26.06. They're slower than the PMC 62 grain.
Yeah.
Got airplane noise in the background. Sorry about that. 26.23. $26.20. $26.23 again. All right, here, let's pull up our Garmin. Here's our shot list. 26.23, 26.20, 26.23.8, 26.06, 25.95. Not a horrible extreme spread. And we'll go back here to shot summary, session summary. You got 26.13 is the average, supreme spread of 28.4, a standard deviation of 11.2. Foot-pounds of energy will be notated on the screen. That's not too bad, not too shabby. All right, here we go. We got 300 Blackout, Vanish suppressor, 190 grain, Fort Scott Tumble Upon Impact ammo. Sorry for the airplane noise in the background. Here we go. We're gonna get 5 rounds in the chronograph. We're gonna see where they hit too. Might help to put a round in the chamber. There we go. Be like Chew could not load my gun during a bear drill.
Every time.
Okay, these are hitting a little high. 1068. $10.46. $10.52. Where we're shooting has a really big echo. The Vanish is actually a really good suppressor. $10.52. And that one's a lot louder since it held open on the end.
Yeah.
1052. We only got 4 shots on the actual chronograph. Let me get another 1 or 2 in there. Here we go. 1 more to get a good shot. See if we can get it read here. That one said 1100. So, how loud was that one, Chook?
That was pretty quiet.
Yeah, I had my hearing muffs on for that one, so it sounded pretty quiet. But yeah, it was that one was pretty loud. And that's one thing about, you know, if it's not hand-loaded ammo, it's not going to be consistently the same noise. That's what I've learned with suppressors and factory ammo this past summer and fall, is like, you know, it's just, you're not going to get the same noise every time unless you hand-load your own subsonics.
Yeah.
All right, since my other camera wasn't working today due to operator error, we're gonna go here. There's our shot list. We got 1100 right on the dot, and that was the quietest one, but it was 1100. And then you can see our actual shots there. We're gonna go back to session summary here. Again, sorry for the airplane noise in the background. We got a 747 flying over. There's our session summary, average of 1072. So I wish it was a little slower for purposes of suppression. And of course, extreme spread of 54 is not good, Fort Scott. And standard deviation of 22. You know, good factory ammo is below 20. Below 20, probably below 17. 15 or so is pretty good. All right, here we go. 5.56 TUI. Fort Scott 55 grain. We already shot a practice shot, I guess, if you want to call that. It didn't. Bullet tumbled down out of the ballistics gel. So here we go. All right, let's see if we did better that time. Like most Fort Scott tumble stuff, this stuff is not very accurate. I'm zeroed right here. I was aiming right here and it just went over here. Could have been me pulling it. Did a nice number to the meat though. The meat has a nice little hole in it. Nowhere near though what an expanding bullet actually does. And then we're not even gonna get a sample of the bullet. This is our second shot we fired. And if you look down in here, you think you see the track. That was our first shot that went out the bottom. And our second shot actually went right through here and out the side. So tumble upon impact, not straight line penetration. That's what we were worried about. Once you actually put real meat and bone in front of it, not straight line penetration. We've seen it before in the water jug test. I just want to show it in ballistics gel. I know my ballistics gel is a little dirty. It's brand new block, but there's dirt on the table. Chook doesn't clean his table. So anyway.
Every time,
man. I always find something to make fun of him about. I got to quit being a bully. Anyway, he's getting better at shooting, so I got to quit being a bully. So it went in right there and came out right in there. Not very good on the penetration, straight line penetration. That's I hate to say it, Fort Scott, that's pretty terrible. So I would not hunt with this load for this gun. All right, we have the 300 Blackout, Palmetto State, Chook. Gosh, I can't even get my own name right today. It's been one of those days for me. We had to shoot twice with the 223, still haven't recovered the bullet. So we're gonna go ahead and see this a little more accurate than 300 Blackout. That was pretty quiet. Sounded like it hit a jug. Yeah.
I didn't see anything move. Interesting. Let's see.
It's very interesting. All right, trying to avoid the 223 track, I shot a little over here. I think the 300 Blackout is more accurate. And it put a hole right there, as you can see. And it was already turning sideways by the time it came out here. There's not a lot of damage done. There is a little bit under the surface, but you can't get to it. And then we have the same kind of track. Here's the 223 track right here, and here's the 300 Blackout track right there, and they both just went out the side. Pretty disappointing. Yep. Pretty disappointing. I would not hunt with that stuff in Alaska. What do you think, Chook? Would you hunt with that stuff in Alaska?
Probably not. No.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a video of their 380 taking a black bear, which is awesome, and I applaud Fort Scott for doing something different. And I'm sorry for the airplane noise that just been there all day, but I would definitely not hunt with this in Alaska. I've been trying to give Fort Scott Munitions a try because I really like the concept. It just will not tumble straight line through actual tissue. Sure, if I just hit it bare ballistics gel, it'd probably go straight through into the water jugs and we'd be fine. We'd find a bullet, maybe not. But I want to see what it did in actual tissue for hunting. And not in Alaska, not even for small black-tailed deer. It's just, you can't trust it. You can't trust where it's going to go afterwards. Barns will sometimes deflect, but it's going to go a long way straight before it deflects. You know, so Barnes bullet's still king in Alaska. North Fork's still really good. What do you think, Chook?
Yeah, Barnes. Everybody uses Barnes.
Everybody uses Barnes, even Chook.
Yeah.
All right, I got this ballistics gel block at home, a little bit where you can see it easier. Here is the 300 Blackout track. You can see it right there. And right next to it, it's a little bit cloudy. You can see right here is the 223 5.56 track. There is a little bit of tumbling going on. And you can see they both tumbled. They both tumbled right out of the block. They both came out almost the same spot right in here. So, not a very good thing. Now, I do have another one down here. This was a shot we took off camera. I hit much, much lower. Almost too low, hitting the table almost on the pork shoulder. And it tumbled out down here. It was actually sitting sideways and was much lower. It went out the bottom of the table. Basically, we had 3 shots. 1 out of the 3 of them actually did any penetration. We had to delete the footage from that shot because our memories were on both our phones, me and Chook. Our memories were pretty low at the time, still are. Thank you, Chook's Outdoor Adventures, by the way. If you haven't subscribed to him, go subscribe to him. Every time I've done a penetration test with Fort Scott TUI, I've been disappointed because, yes, it penetrates, but it's not straight line penetration, and this has been the worst one yet. I'm not saying if it works well in your gun, don't use it, but it would not be my choice for hunting in Alaska. I try to give Fort Scott Tumble Upon Impact Ammunition a chance. I've done several videos on it. I've got a Barnes TTSX versus the 7mm 08 Fort Scott Munitions. I've got Fort Scott Munitions TUI bullets going against body armor out of a 7mm Magnum. Like, I've tried, and I've got 357 versus 10mm in it, and I've got 357 versus 44 Magnum in it. And with all the videos I've done on YouTube, I have not seen straight line penetration. I've also not seen extremely good accuracy. So, I'm not saying they're bad bullets, and I'm not saying they aren't accurate in certain guns. And if you like them, go use them. I was not impressed with the accuracy as well. The 300 Blackout was a little bit more accurate than the 5.56. So tell me which one you think won. What 5.56 versus 300 Blackout would you like to see next? We are going to do some 300 Blackout, hopefully, versus some 338 ARC soon. And in some ballistics gel. So hopefully that will be great testing as well. Guys, support us over on MeWe, Patreon, our X feed, our Truth feed, and of course our Arms Directory feed. Go over to all those places. You can find us there at Alaskan Ballistics. We're at The Real Alaskan Ballistics on Instagram. Let me know what you think in the comments. Godspeed and good hunting to all y'all.